The material of the next variation, which we now consider, is a music imbued with an incredible elegance. As I have already told you, Schumann possessed a very delicate coquetry, a subtle sense of humor. All his music is so subtle and so sublime that now we are touching our modern soul. Our soul nowadays is too terse, noisy, decadent soul, which has become coarse, anti-intellectual, disdainful of traditional Western culture, so proletarian, in bad sense of humor. So Schumann writes scherzando. Remember in Mussorgsky I said that every composer has his own sense of humor. By choosing scherzo form, he wants to be seriously. It has nothing to do with scherzando. Scherzo form is for specialized, who analyze theoretically the form. And scherzando, when it's written scherzando, it means joyful and jokingly. And then it is already intention of the content. You remember Mussorgsky simply wanted us experience cackling. He gave us these chickens, where everything is really very funny. Only moche. Ha 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 ha, with the laughter of clowns. This, of course, offers us his cartoonish sense of humor, hard irony, humor on the verge of caricature. Now let's see what humor the European Schumann has. Here is his humorous first statement. That is a coquetry, it's flirtation. Naturally for a German knight, this is very frivolous, it's comic. We must not forget that this is a German character, a German temperament, the German consciousness of a strict man, the man who adheres to strict rules, but a romantic nonetheless. Therefore, his joke is neither a caricature or cartoon. There would be characteristics, say, for the in Italian, especially southern Italy, for an Englishman or Russian, but it would not be characteristic for Germans. The Germans do not practically like such direct, rude humor. I'm talking about elite Germans, whereas German folk crowd jokes directly and can be unapologetically rude. But this is quite a big difference, an ocean of separation between the world of the folk crowd and German street and that of the German genius. He is a completely different way of thinking. We must appreciate this material the same vein as we appreciate, say, the humor of Thomas Mann. The humor is strictly verified, mattered, and amazingly subtle and gentle. Such humor we can find in pages of Joseph and his brothers, say, when Mann jokes about the relationship between Jacob and Joseph, as it relates to all their adventures and everything else. It's very funny, but it's always very subtle and finely tuned. This is the humor of talented German intellectuals. So, we see the same thing here. When two voices call to each other, forming a dialogue. This is the first appearance of the theme. And then the development of the theme takes an incredible coquetry. This we see just two people who flirt with each other. And here the phrase ends simply with reciprocal laughter. In addition, we have an infinite number of golden moves. That this humor is pure, this coquetry is pure. It is coquetry unclouded by any dirt, scabroneous or greasiness, and yet raised up with the alpine purity. Because we'll never hear golden moves such as this similarity coquettish music from a Russian composer or an Englishman. This is what we expect to hear from the German and Austrian. Why? Because they grew up in Alps, where the Alpine people sing with such a golden step. Therefore, we have all this Alpine beauty with a pure coquetry and amazing humor. And it ends up with completely amazing love. And there's a completely German ending to the joke. When the German pucker their lips into a tube and say something like "mein Schatz." This is completely Germanic speech, the Germanic ending of the natively beautiful joke. In the second part, we again see that a remarkable continuation of the scherzando, when the dramatic chord is accompanied by the endless humor of the characters. Again, notice how Schumann's dynamics behave. End of the phrase. It would seem, according to the logic of the music, there should be an amplification of the sound, a crescendo in bass. But mindful of the fact that this is his scherzo and the Schumann jokes, he does the opposite. This is quite frankly humorous, a humorous statement, but how elegantly made. Coquetry on coquetry. Each figure is interrupted by the amazing, completely knightly coquetry. Well, naturally, that's all I said, all live between notes. In these airy packages, in these air cuffs of Fan, the tulip. And then everything ends. Again with the golden moves and laughter. And a charming, flirtatious bow with a smile. Here it is, our Mr. Schumann. Joker, coquette, knight with a sword in his hand and with a rose on his knee before the lady. Fan, the tulip.